Hey guys, welcome back to another cash unstuffing, paying myself back. So last time I did this for the month of March, I confused so many of you. It was a big mess. Nobody understood what I was doing. And I think the reason that I was confusing everyone is because they don't understand why I would put cash into these envelopes just to pull it out at the end of the month, which for some people does not make sense, and that's okay. For me, it keeps me on track. It keeps me tracking my spending, because before I was not tracking my spending. I was just paying my credit card. I use a Costco card that gives us cash back every year. It's the only credit card that we use. I also do have an Amazon card, because the Amazon card gives us 5% cash back on Amazon purchases, whereas the Costco card on Amazon purchases would only give us 1% cash back. So throughout the year when I purchase Amazon things, I let the 5% roll over and I use it for Christmas, part of Christmas gifts. So those are the only two cards. We no longer have any credit card debt. That took us a long time to get out of, and we've been out of it now for several years. So it's been glorious. But what I was doing before with the card is just spend, and at the end of the month, paying it off. And I always wonder, like, where is all this money coming from? Like, I don't understand how we could rack up, $2,000 or $3,000 in 1 month in basic expenses, whether it be going out to eat, groceries, household things, animal things, school things. It was all encompassed. Like, before I was doing cash envelopes, I was just paying everything on the card. It was getting excessive. So now I pull for my cash stuffing. So all of my spending comes from here. All of my sinking fund spending goes on the credit card. I keep track of it all month, and I'm pulling it from here. So I'm setting the money aside. It keeps me on track. So it's okay. I mentioned this last time. It's okay if it doesn't work for you, or if you think it's extra steps. I literally go to the bank twice a month. That's it. I pull for my my cash envelopes every 2 weeks. This is the one that I just filmed, every 2 weeks. And when that happens, I will take money and deposit it. Now, unstuffing is where you have a lot of money in a lot of small bills in something. For instance, my $1 savings challenge. This envelope is getting thick because it's a bunch of $1 bills. Same thing here, my $100 envelope challenge. When you stuff everything, it's $5,050. That's a lot of money to have at home. And I just don't feel comfortable having all that money. So the unstuffing is where you take your bills. I only have my fake money is only in a $500 denomination. I have this $1,000 fake bill that was sent to me when I bought these envelopes. But other than that, I don't have a lot of fake money or prop money to replace with my real money. So I have a sinking fund savings account at my bank, and when I put prop money in place of the real money, I take that real money and deposit it in the bank, and it sits there. That way I know how much I have contributed to here, but it's not actually on hand. And then I pay myself back every month, and then the next time I go to the bank, I will deposit this and pull what I need. And it ends up working out for me. So it's not a whole lot of extra for me. Yes, I film, I do these things for content for you guys because I film them, but honestly, even if I didn't film them, I would do them anyway because it has been working so well for us, and it is what it is. So I'm going to try not to confuse anyone this time around. I may, and that's okay, but I'm going to try really hard. So I don't think I have a whole lot to pull from those envelopes. This is what this breakdown here. I have this Boss Haven monthly expense sheet with all of my sinking fund updates and things like that linked in my description below. I got it off Etsy, very inexpensive. In fact, everything I have is always linked down below, so go check that out. But oh, this thing is totally dirty underneath. I'm like, what is that? Okay, I need to clean that. But I keep track of everything. I highlight it depending on what category it's in. So you can see here, if we start off with summer activities, on April 4th, I registered the girls for Girl Scout camp. The registration fee was $110. So I am going to go into my purple envelope where my summer activities envelope is, that I've been stuffing all month, right? All of April I was stuffing. Now I'm going to pull $110 from it. And again, you're like, why are you doing that? Because it works for me. I don't know. It works for me. So I'm going to pull $110 from here. I don't have any more summer activities to pull, so it's just going to be that. And I want to pull the smallest bills that I can, because you can see I have lots of 20s. This is like a hefty little thing, and I don't want my envelopes to get too big. So normally what I would do is break this down. I don't have any hundreds or 50s to put this into smaller, bigger denominations, a smaller amount of bills. So I'm just going to take the smaller bills and go from there. So there's 10, there's $120. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 110. And then I will keep this here. So I still have money left in the envelope. I can pull from it next month again if I need to, but I'm pulling from it this time because I paid for something from this category and I want to pay myself back. And again, if that's not something that works well for you, or you don't do well with credit cards, by all means, please do not do this, because you definitely can rack up credit card debt. And if you don't have enough money, which has happened to me before, you don't have enough money to pull from here, what I do, this is where another place that everyone got confused is, let's say I didn't have $110 in summer activities, which I'm sure one of the other ones will end up the same way. Let's say I don't have enough and I only had $50. I have a checking account cushion right now. There's $1,300, I think $1 or something like that in there. And that money is set in there for emergencies. If I have a bill come up that I didn't know about, or if I had to pay for something, right? Like I had to pay for the camp registration, but I don't have the money in my summer activities binder or envelope, then I would just take it from my checking account cushion. Again, that's what works for me. Some people are like, well, you're not on budget if you don't have enough money to cover what you're spending. Yeah, for some people that's true. The problem is we have money. It's just where it's allocated. So should I have thought about it a little bit more and stuffed this envelope a little bit more? Sure, but it's the same idea. If I'm having to take it from my checking account to put it in here to pay this bill that I know I'm gonna have, it works out the same as just taking it from my checking account cushion to begin with. So hopefully that makes a little more sense. I know the last cash stuffing that I had before the one that I did today, a lot of you were like, oh, it makes sense to me, it makes sense to me. The problem is none of you guys were on the other video, because the other video, everyone was confused. Nobody understood it. So I'm hoping this one makes a little bit more sense. So let's see, enough of that. Let's go back through everything. So summer activities, I do have clothes. So for clothes, I have $23.78 and $58.98. So just to make this a little easier, we'll see what I have. $23.78, $58.98, $82.76 from clothes. I think I'm gonna have to break down this 100. Yes, so if I break down the 100, this rounds up to $83. I don't have that, right? So I'm just gonna round it down to 80, stick another 20 in there. Hopefully you guys are catching that okay. So now I have $60, $70 left in clothing. So again, that $2.76, everyone's like, well, you have it, why aren't you paying for it? It's because it's okay. It'll either balance out at the end, or whatever the little extra is, I will take it from my checking account cushion. So I paid back those two. Let's see, what's next? Sports. I have one sports, summer camp. I registered Emmy for cross country summer camp, which she's super excited about. It was a straight up $100. So I'm gonna try and take these smaller bills. I don't think I have enough. Let's see, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85. Darn, I don't have enough. So I'm just gonna take this $100 bill and put the smaller bills back in sports. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to unstuff, which means make these into smaller amounts of bills, because I don't have any really like large bills to replace it with. The only thing I may do is take some money for my 100 envelope challenge. All right, what's next? Do I have any gifts? No. I have pet. I have 2 pets here, one for grooming and one for a Chewy order. So $62.24 for grooming and $60.65 for Chewy is $122.89. So I'll go into my pet envelope here. And I have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 135. So let's see, I'll take 50, 70, 90, 110, 130. I'll take $130. Okay, and I'll leave the $5 in here. So, and all that does is just give me a little bit of cushion for other ones. Like the other one that I had $2 and some odd cents left over. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'll just take it from here. All right, medical. I had vitamins to pay for, so $37.08 is what that is. And we have 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'll take that. Take the 35 and call it even. Seeing that $2.08, it's not worth it to break down these bills. It's not a big deal. At the end, when I add up everything, it'll all end up equaling out. For some people, that bothers them. So if this doesn't work for you, don't worry. Do whatever works for you and your household. I do not want to make anyone feel like this is the end all be all at all. Okay. Next up is school. So I had Fiesta medals and Fiesta shirts and then piano books for Maddie. Now, we bought her a piano. I did not take that. I don't have it here. I'm not taking it from here. I took that from my generic savings account, which gets $400 deposited into it every single month. That is aside from everything else. So that $400, let me break it down to you like this. We have a few different things going on when we get our paychecks. I have an emergency fund that does not get pulled from, and it gets a certain amount every 2 weeks. And at one point I was depositing anywhere from like 100 to 200 in there, and then I went down to 100 every 2 weeks, and now I recently bumped it down to 25 because it's been at goal for a long time. So the goal is about 6 to 8 months of expenses. So like if we lost our jobs, we would be able to live off of that for 6 to probably even 9 months if we were super frugal, maybe even a year if we were really frugal. So that has already been capped off for a little while. So I deposit very little into that. We have the girls' savings accounts. We have more of like a long-term savings that gets invested. So we have that. We have our retirement funds. And then I have like a play with savings. So if I needed to have something quick, or I didn't have enough in my checking account cushion or anything like that. For instance, Maddie's piano, I pulled that from that savings. So essentially that $400 that I deposited this month came from, it paid for the piano. You know, and there's nothing, I kind of move that money around back and forth. Then I have my sinking fund savings where this money goes into, and we have vacation savings. We actually have 2. I contribute to one, Andres contributes to one at 2 different banks. And that's just what works for us. Many bank accounts don't work for everyone. So please do what works for you and your family, okay? I just try and give as many tips as I can, because I know when I was learning, it was so helpful to see these videos. I also want to point out, somebody was saying it would be more helpful if I saw your bills. I don't pay a lot of the main bills. Andres' income in a different bank pays our mortgage, pays, let me see, he pays my car payment. He pays for school tuition for everyone. He pays for life insurance. What else comes out? The utility, he pays the water bill. He pays for, what else comes out? I'd have to go look, because everything's auto debited. We literally barely touch his account. And then my money is for pretty much everything else. All of our like fun activities, which is why I'm able to contribute so much. We lived on a smaller amount of income for a long time. So now we're still living on that smaller amount of income. I'm just having it divvied up differently. Okay, back to this, because that's a lot of talking, I know, I'm sorry. Paying back for school, it was $117.66. So let's do these smaller bills. So I have 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 115. Let's go with that. So I don't have to break down these smaller bills. See, this would be a good where I could put a 500 in place, but I'm not going to, because if I put a 500, I won't be able to break it down if I need to pay myself back for anything. So that's 115. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I am so dumb. I just put this back in here. Thank goodness I knew what it was. I was just thinking I'm so dumb. Okay. Let's put that. That's 500. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's put that back before I get a little crazy here. All right. Nothing else from this one. We have Costco, car maintenance, and home renos, which is in the opal binder. Put this in its place. All right. Okay. So for car maintenance, we had to get the pilot registration, which was $84.50. So I have 50, 70, 80, 85. So then that will pay that back. And this one could be broken down. I could put these 250s and grab 100 there. Alrighty, now home renovations. Costco is actually in here. So Costco was $125.48. It was a few household things. Like, I'm very ashamed to say I have not been couponing, which stinks because that's what it cost us to kind of fill our laundry stuff and our sponges and all those kinds of things. Dish soap, $125. That's insane. So I only have $120 in Costco, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm just gonna eat that $5, which is totally fine. Didn't put this back. And you know, it is what it is. We needed it. It's one of those things too. I could have taken it from my household budget. This in particular that week was when I was kind of having to pull things from everywhere because the inflation of groceries has just gone up so much. So last up is home renovations. So we needed some supplies for that new sink. We did. So Lowe's was $13.33 and then $35.64. So $48.97. I have $50, so I'll go ahead and take the $50. All right. So we are all paid. Everything's checked off. Yay. So now what I'm going to do is go back through and kind of see if I can cash out anything to make it smaller. So my $1 savings challenge, I have should be $86 in there. So I will count out 20 of these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Replace that with a 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Replace that with a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Replace that with a 5. See how I just made the envelope less chunky? So it fits better in here. The 5s I'm gonna keep. The 100 envelope challenge, I am going to see if I need to deposit anything because like I said, this is a lot of money in this particular one. I am gonna see if I can switch it over to any more of the play money. So I already have $1,500 sitting in my sinking fund savings account. That's at my bank. So I have that. So let's see what else I can break down to. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500. Okay. Right, so now I have 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 500. So I have $1,000. That's going to go. Let's break these down into 100. So that's 50. Take 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50. Okay. So all I did there was literally exchange the bills, okay? So exchange the bills so that they could be not as thick, not stretching out my envelope as much. Now let's see, was this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure was. I could do another 500. Yay. So I put $1,500 over here and exchanged it with 3 $500 fake bills. So now all this money, I already had $1,000 in the bank. Now all this money is going to be sitting in the bank instead of in here. So I hope that makes sense. And the reason I'm doing that is because if somebody were to take it, would you rather them take your $3,000 or would you rather them take 58? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing it. This amount of money is much safer in the bank, especially since I know I am not going to be using this until well towards the end of the year. I haven't decided what I'm using it for yet. So I hope that makes sense. I have a $1,000 bill and 4 500s, which is $3,000. And then this is just to make the bill smaller. So now, instead of this envelope being hefty, it's thin. And it makes it very easy to close and all that good stuff, right? So I think this one's pretty good. It's pretty thin. Okay, now this one, this one's not too bad, so I'm not gonna exchange any of that. I may go through this one because this one's getting a little harder to close. So let's see. Mother's Day I'm gonna be spending, so I'm not gonna change that out. Let's check out anniversary. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's see. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 80, 100. So 150, so that's 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 100. So see, I'm not depositing this money at all. I'm leaving the same amount of money. I'm just making it smaller so that I'm not spending this until October. So it's much better to have bigger bills. Birthdays, let's see. Let's see if we can minimize birthday. I already have a 500 there. So I can take these two 50s and get a 100. I can do 50, 70, 90, 100. And you may be thinking, well, why do you have a whole bunch of small bills? Well, because I'm stuffing them 10, 15, 20. I'm stuffing them every 2 weeks with smaller bills. And so it just works out like that. So now I still have the same amount of money, just taking up less room. Trying to make it very, I'm not gonna do back to school because I've been pulling from that one. Father's Day is right around the corner. Let's see, New Year's Eve, it'd probably be easier if I check here. New Year's Eve has 90. So I can only break down those two 20s, or that 20 for the two 10s. okay? So no exchanging of money. Valentine's Day is good. Easter has $100, so I can change that. See, so 50, 70, 90, 95, 100. And I'm just putting the $100 bill in. 4th of July has 90. So I can take those 2 10s. So it still has 90, just a little bit smaller. Halloween, I'll probably make this one a little smaller. 50, 70, 90, 100. 10, 20. Okay, so I can do 2 40s. 2 10s for a 20 and 2 5s for a 20. Did I do that right? I did not. Hold on. I meant to do 2 5s for a 10. So I meant to do a 10 and 2 5s for this 120. You can see here I had 235, so I still have 235. That's where I think people get confused. But again, if you're good with your numbers, you still can figure it out. It's just me. All right, Christmas. I was so close to being able to do another 500 in Christmas, but not quite there yet. So that's okay. I'm just gonna exchange for 100s. So this is 700, so I have 50, 100, 50, okay, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. So I have 965, so I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 950, 960, 965. All right. And like I said, Mother's Day and back to school and Father's Day, I'm not going to decrease. And this is a little bit thinner. All right. So all this money I will take to the bank and deposit it. So if you go back to this, I'm going to add these all up very quickly so I can see how much I should be paying back to my credit card. $829.34. That's how much I need to be paying back to my credit card. Now let's count all this money. So I have 400 plus I have 50s. So 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 50. So plus 750. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40. 840. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92, 10, 20. 220. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. All right, I have 23, so I'm depositing 23.25. But remember, $1,500 of that was the money that I replaced This is where your memory, where you're moving your money comes into play. Remember, I put 3 fake prop $500 bills in my 100 envelope challenge. Okay, so that was $1,500 that I'm not putting towards my card. I'm just depositing that $1,500 into my sinking fund savings account. So if we take that $2,325 and subtract out that $1,500, that leaves us with $825. So this is going to sinking fund savings. This is deposit for credit card. Okay, so $825 is what we had. $829.34 is what I need to pay on my card. So do you see that difference? This is what I owe on my card right now. This is what I'm depositing to pay my credit card. So that $4.34 difference between what I have to pay my card and what I'm depositing to pay for my card is coming from my checking account cushion. That's what it's there for. It's there to cover little overages when I don't have it. Now, could I have taken that $4 from somewhere else here? Sure, I could have, but it's fine. I have that $4 or $5 in my checking account cushion, and that is why having a checking account cushion is so crucial, because if you don't have a checking account cushion, it can make for a very hard time to figure out how you're going to pay that extra money. And I absolutely refuse to let my credit card roll over to get charged interest, because then it defeats the purpose of having the cash back that you get every year and things like that. So I hope this one, I know it was pretty long for just a quick, check back, but I hope it made more sense for you guys and you were able to follow me a little bit better and I broke it down a little bit better. At this point, if this is not what works for you and you didn't understand, then I totally get it. Maybe my videos aren't for you, because this is how I plan to do it every single month. So hopefully that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm super proud. I did a lot better this month, spending wise, than I did last month. Was a little crazy. And I'm able to put an additional $1,500 in this sinking fund savings account. Win. Super excited. So that is that. I will see you guys for my next cash stuffing. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next time. Bye.